Welcome to the Money Cheat Code podcast. What if I told you that you could build a profitable software company this weekend, like without writing a single line of code and without spending a single dime?
I mean, it sounds like a late-night infomercial pitch, right?
Yeah.
Totally too good to be true.
Yeah, exactly. But today, learner, we are looking at a step-by-step playbook that proves this is actually a mathematical reality. Welcome to today's deep dive.
It really does sound wild at first glance because, we're so conditioned to believe that starting a tech business requires, massive upfront capital or a computer science degree.
Right, like you need 50 grand just to hire a developer.
Exactly. The technical wall just feels incredibly high, but the method we're breaking down today completely removes that barrier.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this, learner, and thinking, I'm not a tech person, this isn't for me, just stick around. We're going to map out how to build a micro SaaS from scratch for $0.
And the best part is we're focusing entirely on solving what we call boring problems. Mundane, annoying tasks that everyday businesses just hate doing.
Because businesses will gladly open their wallets to make those headaches disappear. But before we get into the tools and the specific problems, let's just define the playing field.
Right.
We're talking about building a micro SaaS.
Yeah.
So let's break that down for everyone, starting with the SaaS part. What is that exactly?
Sure. So SaaS simply stands for software as a service. And the easiest mental model here is to think about renting versus owning. So think of Netflix.
Okay, Netflix.
Yeah, you don't own Netflix, right? And you don't own the movies on their servers.
Right, I just pay my bill every month.
Exactly. You pay them a set fee every single month just for the right to access their library. So SaaS is that exact business model, but applied to business tools. Companies pay you a monthly fee to use a digital tool.
Oh, I see. So instead of buying a CD-ROM at the store like we did in the 90s?
Yeah, exactly. No more CD-ROMs. You're essentially leasing access to the software over the internet.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that leasing model creates the absolute holy grail of modern business, MRR, which is monthly recurring revenue.
Oh, I love MR. Let's do the math on that.
Let's do it. Imagine you build a simple tool and you charge, let's say, a really reasonable $29 a month for it.
Okay, 29 bucks. Pretty cheap for a business.
Right. And if you get just 100 customers to sign up?
Yeah, it's $2,900 a month.
Exactly. $2,900 of reliable recurring income flowing into your bank account every single month. And that money arrives whether you spent Tuesday working on the software or, sitting on a beach somewhere.
That is the absolute dream. Passive income.
And the micro part of micro size just means we are keeping this intentionally tiny. One small tool, one specific problem, one distinct group of people.
No huge office, no employees. Okay, so the math is super straightforward.
Yeah.
But let me play devil's advocate for a second.
Go for it.
If it's this simple, how do we actually build this thing without coding? I'm not a software engineer, at all.
Well, that brings us right to the $0 starter toolkit. And to understand how this works today, learner, you have to understand the no-code movement.
No code, literally no code.
Literally zero code. 5 years ago, building an app meant typing out complex computer languages. But today, no-code platforms let you visually drag and drop buttons on a screen. The software writes all the complex code for you in the background.
Oh, wow. So it's more like using, I don't know, PowerPoint or something.
Yeah, exactly like that, a visual interface. So let's walk through the specific free stack you need. The actual brain of your app is just Google Sheets.
Wait, really? Just a regular Google spreadsheet?
Just a spreadsheet. It's completely free and it acts as your database. Every time a customer puts in information, it just neatly drops into a row on the sheet.
Okay, but a spreadsheet is pretty ugly.
Yeah.
No one's paying $29 a month to look at a Google Sheet.
No, definitely not. And they won't have to, because of tool number 2, which is Glide. Glide. Glide is a no-code platform that sits directly on top of your Google Sheet.
And does what exactly?
It instantly turns that spreadsheet into a sleek, professional app interface. You drag a text block here, an image button there, and it syncs with your spreadsheet in real time.
That's amazing. And Glide is free.
They have a very robust free plan to start, yeah.
Okay, so Sheets holds the data, Glide makes it look like an app, but how does the app actually do stuff, send emails or process files?
That is where tool number 3 comes in, Make.com. Make.com is your automation engine. Think of it like an invisible robot that just watches your app 24/7.
Okay, an invisible robot. I like that. How does it work?
It runs on triggers and actions. So let's say a customer fills out a new client form in your app. That new row popping into Google Sheets That's the trigger.
Right.
Make.com sees that trigger and automatically fires an action. Like, it instantly drafts a welcome email in Gmail and sends it to that new client.
Oh, wow. So you don't even have to click send. It just happens.
Exactly. Completely hands-off once you set it up.
That is incredibly powerful. Okay, so we need a way to actually sell this thing, though, right?
Right, which is tool number 4, Card. C-A-R-R-D. It's a super lightweight website builder specifically for one-page sites. You can build a beautiful landing page in, like, 30 minutes for free.
And then the most important part, how do we collect the money?
Tool number 5 is Stripe. Stripe handles all the credit card processing securely.
But doesn't Stripe cost money?
There's no monthly fee just to have an account. They only take a tiny percentage, usually around 2.9%, when money actually changes hands.
Oh, okay. So if I have 0 customers, my payment processor costs me exactly $0.
Exactly. It's risk-free.
Okay, let me pause you there, though. Google Sheets, Glide, Make.com, Card, Stripe. These are big companies. They're not charities. There has to be a catch to all this free stuff.
Yes, there is a catch. The free plans definitely have limits. Glide's free plan, for instance, caps your app at just 10 users, and Make.com limits you to 1,000 automated actions per month.
10 users. That's not exactly a software empire.
No, it's not, but it's totally fine, because 10 users is more than enough to get your first 5 paying customers.
Oh, I see.
Right. If you have 5 people paying you $29 a month, you're making over $140 in monthly revenue.
Ah, okay. So you use that $140 of pure profit to pay for the upgraded Glide plan.
Exactly. The business entirely funds its own growth from the very first dollar. You never have to dip into your own savings.
That is a total cheat code.
Okay.
So we have the tools.
Yeah.
But the reality is a lot of these micro businesses still crash and burn. Why is that?
Yeah, they do fail. But the fatal flaw is almost never because the initial idea was bad. The failure happens because people build the entire app before they know if anyone will pay for it.
Oh, right. They spend 6 months locked in a dark room building this massive software based on a gut feeling.
Exactly. And then they launch it and hear nothing but crickets. It is the most expensive way to find out nobody wants your product.
Which brings us to the 3 strict steps we need to follow to avoid that. Step 1, find the boring problem.
Yes. You don't brainstorm in the shower. You go to where your target audience is already complaining. Reddit, niche Facebook groups, industry forums.
You just lurk around and listen.
You become a digital anthropologist. You look for tasks people are doing manually, stuff done on paper or in messy spreadsheets that a computer should be doing.
Because businesses bleed money, paying employees to deal with those annoyances. Which brings us to step 2. And this is the massive paradigm shift here. Get paid before you build.
Yes. Do not write a single line of logic until you have money.
To me, this is like putting up a lemonade stand sign on your front lawn, listing the price, and taking pre-orders from your neighbors before you even go to the store to buy lemons.
That is a phenomenal analogy. If your neighbors actually hand you the quarters, you have proof of demand. You go buy the lemons.
And if nobody stops at your sign?
You just fold it up and go back inside. You didn't waste a single penny on lemons.
So for software, the lemonade sign is just that one-page card website.
Exactly. You build a basic site explaining the exact daily headache your tool eliminates. You add a Stripe payment button right there, charging $29 a month.
Even though the tool literally does not exist yet.
Yes. You take that web page, share it with 20 people complaining on Reddit, and if 3 of them actually put their credit card in, you have undeniable proof.
That is so smart. And if 0 people pay, you just refund any accidental click, scrap the idea, and start over.
Yeah.
You just save half a year of your life.
Exactly. But assuming you get those 3 paying customers, you move to step 3. Build small, ship fast.
So now we actually build the app with glideandmake.com.
Right. But you only build the single core feature that solves that one specific problem. No extra bells and whistles. You get those first few customers using it, and you just ask them every week, what's confusing, what's missing?
You let their actual daily workflow dictate what you build next.
Precisely. Keep it super simple.
Okay, I love this framework. Now let's talk about what we should actually be building. We have 6 specific boring opportunities to go over.
Let's do it.
Starting with the top pick. The form reader.
Oh, this is a perfect boring problem. Think about global shipping logistics, customs offices, real estate. They run on paper forms, thousands of them.
And the hidden cost isn't the paper. It's that some human being has to sit at a desk and manually type every name, date, and tracking number into a computer.
It takes hours. And human error guarantees expensive typos. So you build a simple glide app. The worker just snaps a photo of the paper form with their phone.
Okay, you take a picture, then what?
Make.com sees that new photo, grabs it, and sends it to the Google Vision API.
Let's pause right there. For the learner listening who isn't technical, explain API to me at a 5th grade level.
Sure. Think of an API like a waiter in a restaurant. You're sitting at the table with a menu. That's your app.
Okay.
The kitchen is Google's massive server, which has the magical ability to read text inside images. But you can't just walk into their kitchen.
Right, they won't let me back there.
Exactly. So the API is the waiter. Make.com hands the image to the waiter. The waiter takes it to Google's kitchen. Google extracts the text, and the waiter brings that clean text right back to your table.
And drops it neatly into your Google Sheet. That is a brilliant analogy.
Thanks. And Google Vision is super cheap. So at $49 a month, shipping companies will practically throw their credit cards at you. You're saving them hundreds of hours.
Wow. Okay, let's look at another one. The Solo Health Tool. This one is interesting.
Yeah, consider a solo physical therapist or an independent counselor. They don't have a receptionist.
Right.
So for every single patient, they have to book the calendar, write clinical notes, generate an invoice, and schedule a follow-up.
So they're probably paying for like 4 different apps to do all that.
Exactly. It's an expensive, fragmented nightmare. You use your no-code stack to build one unified dashboard that handles all 4, offer it for $49 a month. It's a total no-brainer.
But we need a massive warning label on this one.
Yes, a critical warning. When you deal with patient data, you are under strict health privacy laws, like high pay compliance in the US.
You can't just put medical notes in a random Google Sheet.
No, absolutely not. You have to ensure your database is legally secure from day one, non-negotiable.
Very important caveat. Okay, rapid fire for the other 4 opportunities. First, niche booking.
Standard calendars are too generic. A busy hair salon needs to collect a non-refundable deposit at the exact moment of booking to prevent no-shows.
So you connect their booking form to Stripe via make.com. The calendar slot isn't confirmed until the payment clears.
Exactly. And you hyper-niche it. You don't build an app for everyone. You build it only for hair salons.
Got it. Next, Review Manager.
Local restaurant owners are too busy cooking to monitor Google reviews. Use make.com to send a text alert to their phone the second a 1-star review drops.
Oh, that's smart. Fast damage control. Next up is payment recovery.
Yeah, gyms and creators lose so much money when customer credit cards expire.
So you use make.com to watch for a failed payment and automatically send a sequence of recovery emails.
You're basically acting as a digital bounty hunter, recovering lost money for them automatically.
Love that. And the last one is the freelancer portal.
A single place to share files, chat, and track invoices. But this space is incredibly crowded.
So again, hyper niche. Build it only for freelance video editors handling massive files.
Exactly. Find the specific pain point.
Looking at all 6 of these, a clear pattern emerges. The less sexy the problem is, like reading forms or recovering expired cards, the more lucrative it is.
Unsexy problems are the ultimate goldmine. Boring enough that big tech ignores them, painful enough that businesses will pay.
All right, so we have the blueprint, we know the tools, we have the boring ideas. But how do we actually get those first 20 people to look at our lemonade stand without spending a fortune on ads?
Well, you go right back to those Reddit and Facebook groups where you found the problem.
But if I just post a link and say, buy my app, I'm going to get banned instantly.
Oh, instantly. Which is why you don't sell. You offer value. You message 2 or 3 of the most vocal complainers and offer them a free lifetime account.
In exchange for what?
Just their brutally honest feedback. You turn those beta testers into your first glowing testimonials.
What about LinkedIn? Isn't cold messaging people basically spam?
It can be, if it's generic. But the approach here is highly targeted. You send a maximum of 20 short messages a day.
What do you say?
Just something like, hey, I noticed you manage logistics. I built a small tool that automates reading customs forms. Want to try it free for 30 days?
You're just offering an aspirin for a headache they actively have.
Exactly. And the math says, out of 20 messages, 2 or 3 will say yes. If the tool saves them time, they'll gladly start paying after the trial.
Okay, and what about this concept of building in public?
It's a fantastic modern marketing technique. You just document your messy journey on X or LinkedIn. You post screenshots of your app, talk about the bugs you're fixing, share your first Stripe notification.
Oh, because people love rooting for the underdog.
Exactly. It naturally attracts early adopters. And once you have momentum, you launch on a site like Product Hunt. Thousands of tech enthusiasts go there daily.
A good launch there could bring in What, a couple hundred free signups in a weekend?
Easily, it's a huge boost.
Okay, let's fast forward. The strategy worked. You have paying customers, you've upgraded to the paid glide plan, but now your users are begging for a really complex feature, something you can't just drag and drop.
Right.
Do you finally have to break the $0 rule and hire a salary developer?
You scale, but you scale smartly. You absolutely do not hire a full-time employee. You take your profits and go to freelance platforms like Fiverr or Upwork.
Oh, you just hire piece by piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You find an expert in Make.com automations. You pay them $50 an hour for a one-off project to build that exact feature.
So you only pay for what you need exactly when you need it, using the revenue the business already generated.
Exactly. It's a completely self-sustaining ecosystem.
So bringing this all together, the ultimate takeaway from today's deep dive is that the barriers to entry in software are basically gone. You don't need code, you don't need venture capital.
You really just need to be observant. Find one boring, repetitive problem that annoys a specific group of people.
Put up a simple card website, get 3 people to pre-order it for $29 a month, and then use free tools to actually build it.
And remember, the idea is just the starting line. Showing up every week, talking to users, tweaking things based on feedback, that's how you actually build a real Micro SaaS.
So as we wrap up, learner, I want to leave you with one final thought. We spent today talking about making software to sell to other businesses. But once you realize how powerful these no-code tools are,
It changes everything.
it really does. You need to stop being purely a consumer of software. Think about your own day job. The next time you're using an app and you get frustrated because it's missing a feature, or you're paying $100 a month for something you barely use.
Ask yourself why you're still paying them.
Exactly. Ask yourself, why am I paying for this when I can probably just build it myself by Friday? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Get out there, find those boring problems, and start building.